Hey guys, what's up? Russ here with day 219 of my video a day series for 2022. Today I'm going to be going over the top 5 biggest comics in my collection. Let's get started. And really quickly before I get started, Rina made it to the second round of the competition at allauthor.com. I believe she's currently sitting in 8th place. She needs to be in the top 3 to get an overall prize. So once again, you guys can vote in the second round. I'm going to drop her link in the description. It'll be the first one there. Click on it. It'll take you directly to her book cover. And let's get her in that top 3. Alright, let's jump into today's video. Number 5 up on my list is Amazing Spider-Man 300. This is the first appearance of Venom, one of my all-time favorite characters in Spider-Man. One of the shows I grew up watching was the 90s animated Spider-Man cartoon. Venom played a big role in that, as well as Carnage, and I just love those characters from that show. Started reading the books, and this is one that I thought I would never have in my collection. And it was gifted to me in a very generous AOK by the boy who had 7. Thank you, Matt. You were the only reason I have this book in my collection, brother. Number 4 up on the list is another book I never thought I would have. I saw the prices going up and up and up, and I finally saved up enough money to be able to pull the trigger on it. And that is Uncanny XMen 101, the first appearance of Jean Grey as Phoenix. When I first started going after this book, it was just a $100 book, which at the time took me a while to save up for. Then it went to a $200 book, so I had to save some more. Then a $300 book, a $400 book. And I finally just said, forget it. If I don't do it now, I'm never going to be able to do it. So I just busted out the credit card and ended up making payments on it. But this book is finally in my collection. I love this storyline so much, and the storyline that continued from this down the road, the Dark Phoenix saga, was just mind-blowingly good. But the first appearance of Jean Grey as Phoenix. This next one up is a Superman key. Who would have guessed, right? Me with a Superman book? This is issue 123, the first appearance of Prototype Supergirl. And this was a book that I just kind of stumbled upon for just an incredibly great price at the time. I was actually saving up for another book. I was saving up for X-Men 4, the first appearance of Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver from the 60s. I believe 64. And I had almost had enough saved up to get it. At the time, a 2.0 was going for $600. I saved up for the entire year. Then a wash machine broke down. So I had to spend that money on a wash machine. And I started saving up again. But then that book started like going through the roof, up in the thousands for the same 2.0 that I had been looking at for a whole year trying to save. Obviously, that book just went way out of my range. I was never going to get it. So I was kind of depressed and just scrolling through eBay. And that's when I saw this, which at the time was $140, and that's about what I had saved back up to. And I just instantly knew this book had to be in my collection, the first appearance of Supergirl. Now this is the Prototype Supergirl, but she came out a year, almost a whole year before the Kira Sorrell Supergirl in Action Comics 252. So this is kind of like a true first appearance. But this particular version of Supergirl was only in this one issue, and she never had a name outside of Supergirl. But super happy to have this in my collection. I love this book, and I have actually read it digitally. I wish they would do a facsimile of this cover, of this book, because I would love to get a physical copy as a reader copy. The number 2 book on my list actually would have tied into the X-Men 4 First Scarlet Witch had I been able to get it. My plan was to eventually have the first Scarlet Witch and the first Vision side by side on my shelf. I wasn't able to get that first appearance of Scarlet Witch, but I did manage to pick up an Avengers 57 first Silver Age appearance of the Vision, baby. This was another book that was just kind of out of my price range. But again, I never would have had another opportunity to get it, I don't think. So I just pulled out the credit card and made payments for several months until it was finally mine. And that's kind of the way I look at these books when I have to use my credit card and make payments slowly over time. I don't view the book as mine until I make that final payment. So this is just awesome to have in my collection at the #2 book. And I don't know if a lot of people are fans of this cover. I've heard some people really trash on it. But I love this cover, man. I think it looks amazing. And eventually, I'm hoping to pick up that West Coast Adventures 45, the first appearance of White Vision, to go side by side with this book. I think that would look cool in place of not being able to pick up the X-Men 4. And the #1 biggest book in my collection is a Golden Age book. And it happens to be my only Golden Age Action Comics. And this was a gift, a very generous gift, from my buddy Kavi, Comic Books NYC. Again, this is a book I never would have had in my collection if it hadn't been for the generosity of this community. That is Action Comics 57. Most likely the oldest Action Comics or Superman book I'll ever have in my collection. And for those that know me, know how I feel about the character of Superman and how much his comics just helped me get through some rough times in my childhood. And holding this book for me is like holding a piece of Superman history in my hands. It's always going to be #1, man. I absolutely love it. Alright, that's it for today. I'll catch you guys tomorrow for day 220. And don't forget to hit that link and vote for Rina's book. See you guys tomorrow. Peace.
What did you say his power level is? It's over 9,000!